What's going on, everybody? It's me again, Gold and Blue Dude. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button if you're a college football fan, because that's what I do, college football videos every single day. So it's time for my spread picks for this week. So far, I'm overall 16-10. I went 8-5 on my first week and 8-5 on my second week. So pretty consistent, and that's over 500. That's pretty good against Vegas. You're going to lose some games. Nobody's perfect, but if you're above 500, you're doing good. So I picked 13 games each week. Well, I didn't do week 1. Started week 2. This is week 4. Here we go. 13 games. The first game is number 5 Florida at Ole Miss, and Florida is laying 13.5. I'm actually going to take those points, and here's why. Florida will beat Ole Miss. I'm pretty sure that. But Florida is not a good team on the road. They're not. And Ole Miss, even though they were 4-8, only 2 of their losses was by more than 11 points. That was to Bama and LSU. So I think this fits perfectly in that category of a close loss for Ole Miss. Possible upset, but I'm not willing to call it yet. So Florida, take the points. Those 13.5 points. Second one, number 13, Central Florida against East Carolina. Central Florida laying 27. I'm actually going to lay those points. I picked Central Florida last week to cover that 7.5 they were laying against Georgia Tech. I think East Carolina is way worse, and I think Georgia Tech's defense is better than East Carolina, so I think Central Florida is going to score a lot of points. I think they'll win by at least 4 touchdowns, so I like that 27. Third game, West Virginia at number 15, Oklahoma State. Now, the line has dropped down to 7, but whenever I picked it, it was at 8.5. Favoring Oklahoma State. So I took the points. I still think Oklahoma State could win this game, but I think it'll be a touchdown or less affair. And I think West Virginia has a shot to upset Oklahoma State. Number 4, Georgia against Arkansas. Georgia laying 28 points. That is way too many points. I'm actually going to take the points. This is the first week Georgia's not known for putting up a ton of points. I think they will win comfortably against Arkansas, but 28 points is just too much. I will take those points. Fifth game, Vanderbilt at number 10, Texas A&M. Texas A&M laying 31. Same deal. I think that's way too many points. I think A&M is the much better team than Vanderbilt, but week 1, working some kinks out. Maybe a 4-touchdown scoring affair, but not 31. I will take those points. The sixth game, Troy against number 14, BYU. BYU laying 14 points. I'm actually going to take those 14 points. Troy impressed me last week against Middle Tennessee. They won that game for me. I laid the points, and they throttled Middle Tennessee. I know Middle Tennessee is a bad team, but I think BYU is getting a little too much credit for that beatdown that they gave Navy, because Navy came back from that 24-point deficit against Tulane. Well, Tulane's not a good team, and Navy started getting their groove. So I'm going to take those 14 points. Seventh game, Duke at Virginia. Virginia laying 5 points. I'm actually going to lay those points. I think Virginia will win this game by a touchdown or more. Duke played Notre Dame fairly well, but then they got blown out by Boston College. I missed that pick. I actually laid those points last week. I missed that. So I think Virginia will win this game by a touchdown or more. Eighth game, Mississippi State against number 6 LSU. LSU laying 16.5. I'm actually going to take those points. I still think LSU beats Mississippi State, but I think LSU is nowhere near the team that they were last year. And I think Mississippi State is a better team than most people realize. So I'm going to take that 16.5 points. I still think LSU wins, but I think it'll actually be a good game. Ninth game, number 22 Army at number 14 Cincinnati. In Cincinnati laying 13.5. I'm going to take those points. Army could possibly upset Cincinnati. Army's a good team. Cincinnati's a good team as well. I expect this to be a good, close football game and a possible upset for the Knights of Army. 10th game, Florida State at number 12, Miami. Miami laying 11 points. You have got to be kidding me. I am going to lay those points all day long. Florida State's a bad team, and Miami's a great team. That surprises me. I will lay those points all day long. Give me the Canes in a blowout. Number 11, Kansas at Baylor. Baylor laying 17.5. I'm going to lay those points. Kansas is a bad team. Even if Baylor is not great, Kansas is terrible. I think it's a 3-touchdown win by Baylor. 12th game, number 2, Alabama against Missouri. Alabama laying 27.5. I'm actually going to lay those points. I think Missouri's going to be bad, and I think Alabama will be back. Mac Jones started to catch his groove at the end of the year. I know they lost to Auburn, but he looked good. I think Alabama just lays the smackdown on Missouri, at least by 4 touchdowns, which is a half a point above 27.5. Therefore, I'm laying. And then finally, my 13th game. 8th-ranked Texas at Texas Tech. Texas laying 17.5. I'm going to lay those points. Texas Tech barely beat a bad Houston Baptist team. Texas looks great. I don't like Texas. Horns down all the way. But in this one, they obliterate Texas Tech. And Texas will probably compete for the Big 12 championship, unfortunately. But anyways, those are my 13 games. So far, I'm 16-10 overall. 8-5. 8-5. Hey, if I go 8-5 again, I'll take it. That's still a winning record. That's still killing Vegas. That's all I got for you for this video. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you on my next video.